Rama Rama. Welcome everyone to session 16 of Samskritasri Pathamala 1. Today we will revise the interclinables that we did in the last class, and also we'll learn some noun forms. We'll start with Mangala Shlokaha. Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Jnananandamayam Devam Nirmalaspatika Kritim Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Upasmahe Saraswati Namastestu Veena Pustakadharini Hamsavahana Marudhe Vidyadanam Kurushvame. So we'll start with today's sukti, good saying. Kriya siddhihi sattve bhavati mahatam na upakarane, no upakarane. It means for great men, success comes from their inherent power and not by external means. So it means that for great men, irrespective of how conducive the situation is, they will strive to succeed. So it is in their inherent nature, just by sheer willpower, they will succeed. This is the meaning of the sukti. So it motivates us to have mental strength to achieve anything that we desire. So let us start with a recap of all that we have done so far. First, we saw the alphabet. So in learning a language, the first step is the alphabet. We saw that the Devanagari script for Sanskritam has 5 components. Now I would like to call some of you to tell me. You can raise your hands and you can tell me the components of the Devanagari script that we learned. Aparna Segal. Okay. Janvi Satish. Janvi Satish. You're self-muted.
Ram.
Ram, namaste. So can you tell us the 5 components of the Devanagari script that we learned?
Yes, ma'am. It is actually the Swaraha, the Vyanjanani, Ayogavaha, Gunitaksharani, and Samyuktaksharani.
Excellent. Dhanyavadaha. Next, we saw the under words. We started learning the Pullinga, Strilinga, and Napunsakalinga words. So, Vidya Mutyam.
Ram, madam.
Ram, namaste. So, can you tell me 2 Pullinga words, 2 Strilinga words, and 2 Napunsakalinga words that we learned? We learned only the singular forms, so you can just tell us the singular forms of the 3 genders. Any 2 words.
Pullinga is Khagaha, bird, and Charaha.
Yes. Charaha?
Spy.
Sorry, I didn't hear you properly. Charaha?
Charaha, spy.
Spy. Yes, good.
And
Strilinga?
Sala, boat. And Suta, daughter.
Yes, the first one we couldn't hear properly. Can you repeat?
Sala, about.
Okay, I think there is some problem with your audio. We're able to hear you. Now it's better.
Napunsakalinga, Bhavanam, house, and Phalam, fruit.
Excellent. Dhanyavadaha. Then we saw some personal pronouns. The singular forms alone we saw. These pronouns are all in which person? They're all in the third person or the Prathama Purusha or Anya Purusha in Sanskritam. So, Lata Jayaraman Mugini, can you tell us the forms of Etad Shabdaha in the three lingas? Pullinga, Strilinga and Napunsakalinga. Lata Jayaraman Bhagini. You're self-muted.
This is Saha, Taute,
That is
Sa,
for which?
Te, Ta.
So they are the three vachanas for the Tad Shabda. That
So, Etad is Napusaklinga.
Etad is the Shabda. The three singular forms in the three different lingas are just the singular forms is what we learned in the beginning, right? For Etad Shabda.
Etad.
In Pullinga, what is Etad Shabda?
Saha.
For Etad, it was Eshaha.
Eshaha, Esha, Etad.
Very good. So these were the forms that we saw in Etad Shabda. For Idam,
I am, Idam. I am.
For Strilingam, it is?
I am, Idam.
I am, Iyam and Idam. Iyam is for Strilinga.
I am, Iyam, Idam.
And Idam. Excellent. Uttamam. Dhanyavadaha. For that, you have already told us that it is Saha, Sa and Tat.
Tat.
Right?
Thank you, ma'am. Ram Ram. Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavadaha. Next, we saw the question pronouns for Kim Shabda. That also we saw only in the singular form, Ekavachanam, in the beginning, just for us to be able to construct simple sentences with singular nouns. So, the three genders of the Kim Shabda in Ekavachanam are Ushavi. Ushavi, can you tell us the singular forms of the Kim Shabda?
Kaha, Ka, Kim.
Kaha, Ka and Kim. Uttam. Dhanyavadaha.
Dhanyavadah.
So the next we came to sentence construction. So how did we first start constructing sentences? By combining the personal pronouns with the nouns like Eshaha, Khagaha, Saha, Balakaha, and so on. Just give me a minute. So this is how we constructed sentences using the Etad, Idam, Tad Shabdas and the Kim Shabda for questioning, and we combine them with the Pullinga, Strilinga and Napumsakalinga words to form two-word sentences. Then we started seeing some grammatical terms. So can you recollect the grammatical terms, some of them that we learned? VKAT Gopal Mahadya. Sorry, I'm unable to unmute. Ram Ram.
Ram Ram.
So can you tell me some grammatical terms that we learned?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Nama
Namapadam. Very good.
Namapadam Sarvanama Kriyapadam.
Okay. What is Namapadam?
Namapadam is nouns.
Very good. Kriyapadam is?
Kriyapadam verbs.
Excellent. And Sarvanamapadam?
Pronouns.
Pronouns. What is verb root? You remember the word for verb root that we learned?
No, ma'am.
It is dhatu. Dhatu is the name for the verb root, to which you add different endings to form the kriyapadani. Kriyapadam is like what we learned in the last class, right? Namati, namataha, they are all kriyapadams. So nam is the dhatu or the verb root from which you get all these kriyapada forms. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much. Dhanyavadaha. So these were some of the grammatical terms that we learned. We also learned adverbs, adjectives. Adverbs are kriya visheshanani. Adjectives are visheshanani. In singular, we say visheshanam. Kriya visheshanam. Then we saw avyayam. Avyayam is something that does not change its form in different sentences. It is a constant. So irrespective of the number, gender or person, there is no change in the avyaya padas. They can be used in different sentences without change in form. Then we also saw vibhakti, and then vachana is the name for the number, lingam is a name for the gender, and so on. Then after that we saw the three pronouns of the three persons. I mean, for the pronouns for the three persons, namely the Prathama Purusha, Madhyama Purusha, and Uttama Purusha. Prathama Purusha is also known as Anya Purusha. So for these, in all the three numbers, in three vachanas, we saw the vachanas are Eka Vachanam, Vivachanam, and Bahuvachanam. We will be revising those forms in today's class as well. Then we saw the Kriya Padas. Kriya Padam is the verb. For now, we are seeing sentences only in the Lat Lakaraha. Lat Lakaraha means the present tense. Then we saw the Kim Shabda in the three lingams. Pullingam, Strilingam, Napumsakalingam, and the three vachanas. So the Kim Shabda has the singular form in the three lingams as Kaha, Ka, and Kim. Kaha Pullingam, Ka Strilingam, Kim Napumsakalingam. So in Pullingam, for Eka Vachana, Dvivachana, and Bahuvachana, the Kim Shabda has Kaha, Kau, and Ke. Now, does anybody want to try the Kim Shabda forms for Strilingam? Chandra Rekha Mantri?
Yes, ma'am. It should be Kaha Ke Ram. Kaha Ke and Ka Ke Kaha or something.
Ka is the Ekavachana form for the Kim Shabda in Strilingam. The Dvivachana form is Ke.
Ke. Yes.
And
Ke.
Bahuvachana form is
Kaha.
Kaha. The Dirgha Ka with the Visarga.
Kaha. Yes.
Yeah. Dhanyavada.
Dhanyavad.
Then for the Napumsakalinga, we have Kim for the Ekavachanam. What are the Dvivachana, Bahuvachana forms? K. Srivatsan Mahodaya.
Mahodaya.
Ramana. Namaste. So can you tell us the Kim Shabda form in Napumsakalinga, Ekavachana, Dvivachana, and Bahuvachana?
Kam Kaukan.
Kim Shabda in Napunsakalingam is Kim only for the Ekavachana, Kim, K for Dvivachanam, and Kani for Bahuvachanam. Kim,
Okay.
K, Kani.
Kani.
Okay. Yes. Uttama Mahodaya. Dhanyavadaha. Okay. Then we saw a long list of Avyaya Padas, and we will be seeing them today as well because we were able to see it only once. I hope you were able to revise it at home so that you're familiar with the words and the context in which they are used and how they are used in sentences. So in the last class, I had asked you to try to read the sentences in the lesson 11. I hope you were able to do that. So in case you had any doubt in going through that lesson, then you can send me your questions. You can either send it now or you can send me email if you have any doubt in that lesson, because most of the avyayas which were used in that lesson we have already covered in the last class. Today also we'll be doing so. So after today's class or during the class, if you have any doubt, please let me know. You may not have recognized this word balike, which is in that lesson towards the end. So this is the dvivachana form of balika. So those forms we will be learning today. Then, in case any of you do not have the physical copy of the textbook, you can always refer to the course page and you can download a PDF version of the textbook. So these are the points regarding the homework of last class. And in the last class, we learned many avyayas, but we did not see these two. The first one is pratidinam. Pratidinam means every day. For example, aham pratidinam pathami. I read every day. And samyak. Samyak means very well or nicely. So it is from this samyak that the word Samskritam itself has been derived. So samyak kritam means it is something that is well or very nicely done. So the language itself is very nicely done, so it gets its name Sanskritam, samyak kritam. So let us see the avyayas in detail today. But before that, in the last class, we said that yataha means because. In the textbook, it says it means because only when followed by tataha. So what does the textbook say? It says that yataha means because when followed by tataha. The example is, it's not given in the book, I have given it myself. Yataha Ramaha padhati tataha saha na gachati. What is the meaning? Because Rama is reading, he is not going. So if somebody asks, why is Rama not going? Then we say, because he is reading, he is not going. But this yataha can also be used independently. For example, Ramaha na gachati. Yataha saha padhati. Here you are not using it in combination with tataha. The meaning of this is Rama is not going because he is reading. So basically, yataha means because. That's all. So irrespective of whether it is accompanied by tataha or not, it means because. Ataha means so or therefore. So let us, anyway, we will revise this today. But I wanted to clarify this point. Somebody had written me an email, so I thought it would be beneficial for everyone to know the difference. Next, we will see how the numbers are written in Devanagari. You might come across these numbers in the exercises, so I thought it will be useful for you to know the different numbers, know to identify these numbers. 1 is written something like our 9. And then 2 is very similar to the 2 that we know. 3 is also similar. 4 is written like an 8 without being completed on top. So there's a small gap above. 5 is almost similar. 6 is written like a reverse 3. And 7 is written like 6. 8 is written like an upside down 7. So these forms, please familiarize yourself with, because you'll find some of these numbers in the exercises. It will be easy for you to identify. Now we'll revise the pronouns. This is very, very important. That is why I'm revising it several times. The first thing is Uttama Purushaha. Uttama Purushaha is the first person. In English, it's called first person. In Sanskritam, it is Uttama Purushaha. So the only Shabda in Uttama Purusha is Asmat Shabdaha. The Asmat Shabdaha has the 3 forms in the 3 vachanas as Aham, I, Avam, we two, Vayam, we all. Now, this is irrespective of which gender we are talking about. Whether it is Pullingam, Strilingam or Napumsakalingam, there is only Asmat Shabda and there is only one form in Ekavachanam, which is Aham. Only one form in Dvivachanam, which is Avam. Only one form in Bahuvachanam, which is Vayam. Next, Yushmad Shabdaha. Yushmad Shabdaha is in Madhyama Purusha. So the only noun in Madhyama Purusha can be Tvam, Yuvam, Yuyam, which is the Yushmat Shabda forms. This again has no Linga Bheda. In Ekavachanam it is Tvam, in Dvivachanam it is Yuvam, and Bahuvachanam it is Yuyam. The next thing is the Tad Shabda. We have taken the pronoun Tad for the Anya Purusha or Prathama Purusha. Actually, the Anya Purusha and Prathama Purusha, all the nouns that we learned, all the pronouns that we learned will come under only Prathama Purusha or Anya Purusha. Because the Uttama Purusha has only Asmat Shabda, Madhyama Purusha has only Yushmat Shabda. So everything else which we call noun will come under Anya Purusha. So we have taken the example of Tat Shabda. Tat Shabda in Ekavachanam Pullingam is Saha. In Pullingam Dvivachanam Tau. Pullingam Bahuvachanam Te. Saha Tau Te for Pullingam. Sa Te Taha for Strilingam. Tat Te Tani for Napumsakalingam. Okay. Next is the lesson 10 that we are seeing currently has introduced us to some verbs. These verbs we saw under lesson 9 itself. So we saw a list of many verbs along with the meanings. We saw the Kriya Padani. Then there are some nouns. That is, the same nouns that we had seen earlier are also given here, like a revision. But here the nouns that are given are all the Akara ending words. For Pullingam, Napumsakalingam, they are Akara ending. And for the Strilingam, they are Akara ending nouns. Then there are also some indeclinables which we saw. So let us see them today. These are the contents of the lesson 10. Kriya Padani, what we saw in lesson 9 itself. Then we saw the Avyayani. There are also question words like Kada, Putra, Kutaha, Kimartham. These words also we saw under the Avyayas. We are going to see some Akaranta, Akaranta Shabdas, which we have already seen before, just for a revision, because we'll be going on to the Dvivachanam and Bahuvachana forms of these words. It is important to be sure which lingam they belong to and what is their meaning. So we'll revise the Kriya Padam forms first. The Lat Lakara, Kriya Pada forms of the Nam Dhatuhu. Nam means to salute. So Subhadra Shankar, can you read the forms?
Yeah, ma'am, I actually had a doubt in this one, in the Uttama Purusha, Madhyama Purusha. Could you show that page just for a minute? I'll read this,
Sure.
but could you just show it for a minute?
Sure, 1 minute.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Where is the Prathama Purusha? What is the Prathama Purusha?
All these are Prathama Purusha. The Tat
Oh, this is.
Shabda is given as an example. Prathama
Oh,
Purusha only has a Linga Bheda. That is why we have to give the forms under Pullingam, Strilingam and Napumsakalingam. Not only the
okay.
Tat Shabda, the Etat Shabda, the Idam Shabda, all the
Okay, ma'am.
nouns, like everything comes under Prathama Purusha only.
Okay, ma'am. Understood. Thank you, ma'am. So,
Now you can read the
yeah, I can read. Yes. From where should I read? Namati,
just the yes, Namati, Namataha.
Namanti, Namasi, Namatha, Namatha, Namami, Namavah, Namamah.
Uttam. Dhanyavadah.
Dhanyavadah.
Now for the verb meanings. So the verbs that we learned are Pathati. Somebody wants to read, can read. Padmini, Bharathan. Okay. Banu Ravichandran. Banu Ravichandran, do you want to read? You're self-muted. Annapurna Ayyala Somyajula.
हरिः ओम् भगिनी.
Ram Ram. Namaste. So can you read
राम राम
this?
नमस्ते. Yes,
Pathati.
भगिनी. पठति.
What does it mean?
Read.
He reads, he or she or it reads.
He, she. पश्यति.
What is the meaning?
He or she sees.
Very good.
गच्छति. He or she or goes.
Yes. Next is
आगच्छति. He or she comes.
yes.
यच्छति. He or she gives.
Very good.
वसति. He or she lives.
Very good. Lives or resides. Dhanyavadah. Michelle Roca Mahodaya, do you want to try the next set?
Sorry. Namaste, Ram Ram. I have to
Ram
read.
Ram. Namaste.
I
Yeah.
read. So,
Yes, please.
Bhavati, he she or it, his, or
Very
becomes.
good. Yes.
Hasati, he, she, or it lows.
This is laugh. Okay.
Hasati lows. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Asti, so he, she, it is.
Yes.
Vikasati, so it blossoms, or he, she, it
Excellent.
blossoms.
Yes.
Upavishati, so is she, he, it sits.
Yes. Sits.
Okay, sits. And patati, so he, she, it falls.
Very good. Uttamam Mahodaya. Dhanyavadah.
Ram Ram, namaste.
Ram Ram. Dhanyavadah. Lalita 2610. Okay. Lalita 2610. Yeah.
Ram Ram.
Ram Ram. Namaste.
Kridati. He or she or it plays. Bhavati. Saha, sa, tat, bhavati, which is he or she or it plays. No, runs.
Runs.
Bhavati is runs.
Yes.
Nayati. Saha, sa, tat, nayati, which means he or she or it leads them.
Yes. Leads or takes.
Okay. Anayati. Saha, sa, tat, anayati. He, she, it brings.
Yes. This Nayati, this is the word from which we get the word Neta. Neta means leader, right? So
Leader.
Nayati means to lead or to take.
Okay. Okay. Charati. Saha, sa, tat, charati. He or she or it graces or goes around.
Very good. It has both meanings, grazing and going around. Okay. Karoti.
Karoti. Saha, sa, tat, karoti. He or she or it does the work.
Uttam. Dhanyavadah. So karoti means he or she or it does. Now we also saw the question pronoun kim in the three vachanas and the three lingams. Kaha, kau, ke in pullingam, just like saha, tau, te. In strilingam, ka, ke, kaha, and in napunsakalingam, kim, ke, kani. Like the te, tani, kim, ke, kani. Like sa, te, taha, we have for strilingam, ka, ke, kaha. So this is the question word what or which or what or which for the different lingams, pullingam, strilingam and napunsaka lingam. Now we will revise the avyaya padams that we did last time. We have to include pratidinam, which is every day, and samyak, very well or nice, in this list. But we will see if how much we remember. Okay. Sambhasha 2421 Mahodaya. You want to try telling us the meanings of the avyayas along with any sentence? You're self-muted. Sambhasha 2421. Okay, I'm sorry. Krishna Narayan.
Namaste, Ram Ram.
Ram Ram. Namaste. What is cha?
Cha is and.
Yes.
And
can you tell me a sentence with and? Any simple sentence with and?
Rama, Sita, Cha,
Okay.
Kridataha.
Kridataha. Why? Because they are Prathama Purusha Dvivachana. Two people are there, Rama and Sita. They are playing. So we use Dvivachana Kridataha. Uttama. Dhanyavadaha. Now you can also try the 2 or 3 more.
Okay. Api is also.
Very good. You can tell me any sentence.
Okay. Rama api padhati.
Uttam. Ramah api padhati. Rama api padhati. Meaning?
Api padhati.
What is the meaning of that sentence?
Ram also reads.
Uttam. Next. Param.
Param, parantu, and kintu. All
Yes.
3 mean the same, but.
Yes.
The sentence is there already. Parantu Krishnaha likhati. But
Yes.
Krishna
So
writes.
Yes, but Krishna writes.
Then prayaha.
Yes.
Prayaha means mostly.
Yes.
Mostly. The sentence that you told, I have written down is prayaha chhatraha api gachanti. I think I have written it correctly. I'm not sure.
Yes, it does make sense. So what? Okay. Can you guess the meaning?
Chhatraha means students. So
yes.
Mostly students are also going.
Yes. Then
Va or athava, which means or.
Yes.
Or. So Rama, Sita, Va, Gachanti.
Okay. So what does it mean?
That means Rama or Sita goes.
Yes. This is?
Na. Na means
Yes.
not. Not. Ramaha na kridati.
Yes. Meaning?
Ram is not playing.
Uttam. Dhanyavada. Shivashankar Bogaram V. Gupta. Shivashankar Mahodaya. This is Ram. Namaste. Shivashankar Mahodaya. We are unable to hear you. Hema Mohan. Hema Mohan.
Amma. Am
Ram. Namaste.
Ram. Namaste.
This is Eva.
Eva.
Yes.
It's like.
Yes.
Ramaha.
Yes.
Chhatraha iva padhat.
Ah, Uttam. Meaning?
Rama reads like a student.
Very good. Next is?
Eva.
Yes.
Only. Ramaha eva padhati. Rama is only reading.
Yes.
punah pathati.
Meaning?
Rama is reading again.
Uttamam.
Atha. Therefore. Ataha.
The takara does not have a mahaprana, but it is followed by a visarga.
Ataha.
Yes.
Therefore, or not because.
You can remove this not because the textbook said because. I wanted to clarify that, so I've given not because.
Yes.
Because is not the
Therefore,
meaning. So and therefore are the meanings of ataha.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Ramaha padhati ataha saha na gachati. Rama is reading, that's why he is not going.
Correct. Therefore, he is not going. Okay. Yataha means?
Yataha. Because.
Yes.
Yataha because. Ramaha na gachati. Yataha saha padhati.
Yes.
Rama is not going because he is reading.
Uttamam.
Ataha eva.
Yes.
Only for that reason.
Uttamam. Yes.
Yeah. Ramaha padhati ataha eva saha na gachati.
Okay.
Yeah. Rama is reading.
Yes.
Because only for that reason he is not going. He is not going only for that reason. We can say.
Correct. Yes. That's perfect. Uttamam Bhagini. Dhanyavadaha.
Dhanyavadaha.
Now there are some avyaya padas which indicate place. Sarita Singh Bhagini. Sarita Singh.
Can you hear me?
Rama Rama.
Rama. Okay. Atra tatra.
Yes.
Here, there.
Atra is here. Tatra is there.
Tatra is there. Yeah. And the sentence will be Rama atra vasati Sita tatra nivasati.
Uttam. Can you give me the meaning of that sentence?
Rama lives here and Sita lives there.
Uttam.
Yeah. Shall I read the Narayana? Narayana atra asti tatra api asti. Narayan is here also and there also.
Uttam.
Sarvatra, everywhere.
Yes.
Narayana sarvatra asti.
Yes.
And is everywhere.
Yes.
Adha, below or down.
Yes.
What can I forget to?
Okay, I'll give you the sentence.
Phalam adhaha patati. The fruit falls down. Upari, above or up or above.
Yes.
Khaga upari gachati. The bird goes up.
Sorry, what goes up?
The bird.
The bird.
Bird goes up. Yes. Yeah. Behind.
Yes.
Griham prishtataha asti. The house is at the back.
Oh.
The house is behind me.
Yes. Next is?
Purataha is in front.
Yes.
Mama griham purataha asti.
Good. Mama means my.
My house is
in front.
In front.
Uttam. Dhanyavadah.
धन्यवादः madam.
Ram Ram. Next we have some avyaya padas which indicate time. Veena honati.
Ram Ram.
Yeah.
Adhuna idanim. Now.
Yes.
Adhuna padona ashtavadanam. Padona navavadanam. Rama.
Meaning? Okay.
Adhuna patati. Rama is reading now. Rama reads now.
Okay.
Sadyah. Sadyah itukte immediately.
Yes, at once.
At once. At once. Marjalam društva मूषकः सद्यः धावति.
Okay. Can you tell me the meaning of this sentence?
कृष्णः सद्यः वदति. At once. Krishna speaks at once.
Yes.
ततः अथ. ततः then अथ.
Also is
then on.
Yes.
ततः. अद्य पर्वकालः अस्ति अतः रामः पठति ततः लिखति. ततः किं भवति? What is this? Then what is that? What is that? Then what is that? ततः किं भवति?
Kim bhavati means tatah kim bhavati means after that what happens.
What?
So subsequent to that what happens is what you want to know. Okay. You said Ramah padhati tatah likhati, right? So what is the meaning of that?
Rama reads, then he writes.
Uttam. So anything that happens later you indicate with tatah or atha. Uttam. Next is
Chiram.
Chiram.
For long time.
Yes.
मातामही आशीर्वादं ददाति. चिरं वसतु.
चिरं जीव इति
चिरञ्जीवी भवतु.
रामः चिरं पठति.
Chiram is for a long time. Long time Rama reads. Tada, then.
Yes. At that time. Tada is at that time.
That time.
Yes.
यदा माता पृच्छति तदा एव पुत्रः पठति.
Okay. Ramah tada apathat.
Rama read. Then Rama at that time read.
Okay. Next is
tada sarvada.
Yes.
Always. Always.
Yes. Both sada and sarvada, they are two different words. They both mean always.
Always. Sada Ramanama smaranam karotu. Ramah sada sarvada pathati. Rama always reads.
Samyak. Dhanyavadah, Bhagini. Now some more avyaya padas indicating time. G.S. Bharatram. G.S. Bharatram Mahoday. Chitra Venkat. Chitra Venkat. Yeah.
Ram Ram Bagini.
Ram Ram. Namaste. The
Namaste,
first
Bagini.
word is
Pratah. In
Yes.
the morning.
Yes.
Pratah Padmam Vikasati. In the morning, lotus blooms.
Yes.
Sayam. In the evening. Sayam Vayam Kridamaha. In the evening, we all play.
Yes.
Sayam Pratah. In the morning and evening. Ramaha Sayam Pratah Patati. Rama reads in the morning and evening.
Yes.
Adyaha. Today. Ramaha Adya Patati. Rama
It's
reads
only
today.
Adya. Yes.
Only today. Okay.
It's not Adya.
Kada.
It's just Adya.
Okay. Adya today. Ramaha Adya Patati. Rama reads today. Kada. Oh, sorry. Is Shva. Tomorrow. Shva.
Shvaha.
Shvaha. Shvaha.
Yes.
Shukravasaraha.
Uttamam. Shvaha Shukravasaraha.
Hyaha. Yesterday. Hyaha Budhavasaraha.
Yesterday was Wednesday. Shvaha means tomorrow. Shvaha Friday. Shukravasaraha. Uttamam Bhagini. Dhanyavadah.
Dhanyavadah Bhagini.
Now we are going to see some question words. Kada. We saw that sada is always, tada is at that time. So similarly we have kada. Kada means when. Krishnaveni J. Okay. Pappu Shobha Latamani. Ram Ram.
Ram Ram. Ram Ram Bhagini.
Ram. Namaste.
Namaste. Kada. When.
Yes.
Rama Kada Likhti.
Yes. What does
Rama
it mean?
Kada. Rama Kada Likhti.
What is the meaning of that sentence?
When Rama will write.
There is no future tense in this. So, when is Rama writing?
Okay, okay. When Rama writes.
Yeah. Yes.
Kutra. Where? Where? Ramaha Kutra Vasati.
Yes.
Where does Rama lives?
Okay.
Katham. Katham. How? How?
Yes.
Ramaha Katham Kridati.
Meaning?
Where Rama will.
How? How does Rama?
How does Rama will play?
Yes. How does Rama play is the question.
Yeah. How does Rama play? Yeah. Kutra.
Kuttaha.
Kuttaha. Why or where? From where?
From where? Yes.
Krishna Kuttaha Agachati.
Yes. So it means.
So from where Krishna Agachati comes, right?
Yes.
Then, from where Krishna is coming.
Okay. Either you can say that where is Krishna coming from, or you can ask why is Krishna coming. Krishna kutaha agachati. Why is he coming? is also the
From
same.
where he, okay. From where he is coming, why he is coming.
Also.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, got it. Kimartham, kimartham, why?
Another word you can use for why. So when you say
Why?
kimartham Krishnaha agachati, then you can be very clear that it is only why.
Why? Kimartham vadami.
Yes.
Okay.
So what is the meaning of this?
Vadami means kimartham. Vadami means talk, right? Vadami.
Yes. Vadami is to talk. And
Yeah.
in which Purusha is this?
Vadami. Uttam Purusha.
Ah, excellent. So Uttama Purusha, which Vachanam?
Ekavachanam.
Ekavachanam. So Uttama Purusha, Uttama Purusha, Ekavachanam refers to which person?
I.
What is the noun? Aham. Only aham comes.
Aham.
Vadami.
Aham.
Aham kimartham vadami.
Kimartham vadami. Yeah.
Why am I talking?
Talking. Yeah.
Next is
Kimati. Kimati. What for? For what? For
this
what?
is kim iti. Kim iti.
Kimiti. Oh, kimiti. For what? Ramaha gacchati kimati.
There is a
Where
comma
Rama?
here. Ramaha gacchati.
Kimiti.
Rama is
Okay.
going. Then you're asking
Kimiti.
for what?
Okay.
Kimiti.
Kimiti.
What is
Ramaha
used by?
gacchati kimiti.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uttamam bhagini. Dhanyavada.
Dhanyavada. Dhanyavada. Ram bhagini.
Ram. Now let us do another exercise just for the meaning. Pavitravi. Pavitravi, can you try this? Okay. Ramachandran Rajagopal Mahodaya.
Yes.
Yes. The word is and. What is the Samskrita pada?
Cha.
Sorry?
Cha.
Yes. Cha. But.
Parantu.
But is. Yes.
Parantu.
There are three words. Param, Kintu.
Param, Parantu, Kim.
Yes, Kintu. All the three are but. Then. What is then? There are two words for it, if you remember. Yeah. Atha and Tataha.
And Tata.
Atha, the second
Tatha.
thakara. Akara with the second thakara. Atha or Tataha. How? How is indicated by the question pronoun? Katham. You remember? Katham. Katham means how. Rama Katham Kridati. How does Rama play? How? Here.
Yatra. Yatra.
Here means Atra.
Atra.
Atra is here. Tatra is there. They are opposites. Atra is here. Tatra is there. Then slowly. This is an adverb. Slowly. Or softly. Sometimes it's used in the context of softly as well. So what is the word for that? Shanaihi. Shanaihi is the word for slowly. Uttam. Dhanyavadaha Mahodaya. Now, these are the words which we have already learned. They are given in lesson 10 because they are all akara ending words. For pullingam and pullingam and napumsakalingam, they are akaranta padas. These are given so that we are thorough with the meaning as well as the gender. And after that, we are going to learn the dvivachana and bahuvachana forms of these akara ending words first. So that is why they have given these words as revision. So there is nothing to read actually in this. I've just indicated it here along with the other slides so that there is completion. So we've covered everything in the textbook. So you can read this by yourself, and if you have any doubt or any question, you can either type out the question here or you can write to me later. Any of this. So I'm not going to read all these words because we have already read these words. We've also taken a test for the after completing that portion. So for now, we'll just skip that. Then we are going to see the 3 forms of the Pullinga, Strilinga and Napumsakalinga words which have an akara ending. The Pullinga, Napumsakalinga words have an akara ending and the Strilinga words have an akara ending. So general forms of ekavachanam, dvivachanam and bahuvachanam for the akara ending word or akara ending word is what we're going to see. So if you learn one word with the akara ending for a pullingam, then all the akara ending words have a similar form for dvivachanam and bahuvachanam as well. So we have Ramaha, Ramau, Ramaha as the ekavachanam, dvivachanam and bahuvachanam forms of the shabda Rama. The basic shabda is Rama. It is an akara ending shabda. Why is it akara ending? The last word is makara plus akara. So the last alphabet in that word is akara. That is why it is called an akara anta shabda. Anta means end. So it is called an akaranta shabda. It is Rama. But in ekavachanam, it comes as Ramaha. In dvivachanam, it comes as Ramau. And in bahuvachana, it comes as Ramaha. If there is one person, we say Ramaha. If there are 2 persons with the same name, we say Ramau. And 3 or more, we say Ramaha. Ramaha, Ramau, Ramaha. Just like Saha, Tau, Te. Okay, that has Te, but this has Aha as the ending. So for the nouns which have an akara ending, in Pullingam, the ending will be aha, au and aha. Then we have for Strilingam, Rama Shabda. Rama is an akaranta shabda. Why the last word is makara followed by an akara. So the last letter is a. So it's an akaranta Rama Shabda. This Rama Shabda in Ekavachanam is also Rama only. There is no change. Rama. In Dvivachanam it is Rame. In Bahuvachanam it is Ramaha. Like Satetaha we have Rama, Rame, Ramaha. Then for Napunsakalingam, Phala Shabda. The Shabda is only Phala. So there is a Lakara followed by an Akara at the end. That's why it is an Akaranta Phala Shabda. It is Napunsakalingam. So it has an ending Phalam. This is the Ekavachana form. The Phala Shabda's Ekavachana form is Phalam. Dvivachana form is Phale. And Bahuvachana form is Phalani. So if you see any Shabda, Akaranta Napumsakalinga Shabda, it will be very similar to this. A, Ani will be the endings. So an Akaranta Strilinga Shabda will be similar to Rama Shabda. It will be Rama, Rame, Ramaha, or similarly the endings will be A, Aha. And for the Akaranta Pullinga Shabda, it is Aha, Au and Aha. So these forms you have to remember very, very clearly. It's the first step of learning nouns which have an Akaranta or Akaranta Shabda. So most of the nouns, many of the nouns will come under akara. So it's very useful to know this thoroughly. Okay. So let us have some practice reading this because it's very important. We'll do it a couple of times before going to the next step. Gauri Ramamurthy Bhagini. Gauri Ramamurthy. Gauri Ramamurthy is self-voted. Okay. Now you can, since the time is up, you can just read this. You can learn these forms by heart. We will go to the, I wanted to do a few more things. Let me just give you the exercises. Exercise number 10.1, which is the first exercise in lesson number 10, they have given different shabdas. So first thing is for us to identify the lingam. We have to identify the lingam and then we have to write the ekavachana, dvivachana, bahuvachana forms based on the lingam. Just like how we have seen, all the shabdas that are given here are either akaranta or akaranta shabdas. The first shabda is devata. It is lingam. Okay. You have to write the ekavachana form, which is devata itself. In dvivachanam it is devate, and in bahuvachanam it is devataha. So devata, devate, devataha is the form of devata shabda. Then purusha shabda, it is a pullinga shabda. So indicate the lingam. Then you write the ekavachana, dvivachana, bahuvachana forms, just like Rama. Ramaha, Ramau, Ramaha. So similarly for Purusha, we have Purushaha, Purushau, Purushaha. Purushau and Purushaha. Then for Janaka also, it is a Pullinga Shabda. Janakaha, Janakau, Janakaha. Maya is like Devata or Rama. So it will be a Strilinga. Maya, Maye, Mayaha. Then Dhanam. Dhanam we have it in Napumsakalingam. So what are the forms we saw? Phalam, phale, phalani are the three forms in ekavachanam, dvivachanam and bahuvachanam. So we can say for dhanam, it will be dhanam, dhane, dhanani. Dhanam, dhane, dhanani. So and similarly, you have to do the rest of the words. So you please attempt this exercise. We will anyway do it in the next class. Then there is fill in the blanks with suitable words. You have to use a proper noun. Any noun, not just a proper noun. Any noun you have to use and fill in the blanks. You can use, you can fill up the blanks with any suitable word. It could also be a pronoun. It could also be an avyaya. You just have to use a suitable word. Any word that we have learned till date, you can use. For this, you have to choose the appropriate word. The question is asked. I'll show you an example. Kani atra patanti. What is falling there? It is given in plural. Napunsakalinga bahuvachanam. So, which will be the answer? Phalani, phalam or phale? Since it is bahuvachanam, you have to say phalani atra patanti. So, phalani is the right answer. Similarly, you have to do the rest of the sentences as well. And exercise number 10.4, the fourth exercise, gives you some words in English. You have to write the correct word in the correct vachanam. Ekavachanam, dvivachanam or bahuvachanam. So if you have any difficulty, you can again let me know. Now I'll quickly see if there are any questions. Word for studying. Studying is pathati only. Or adhite. That verb we have not seen yet. So we'll just stick to the words which we already know. Pathati. Both in the present continuous as well as in the present tense. Simple present, we use only pathati for now. What is the difference between kutaha, why, and kimartham, why? There is no difference. It is the same. How do we pronounce the word for yesterday? Yaha. Yaha. Okay. So, ma'am, I feel you were too fast in the last class. Yes, for Abhyaya Padas, they are always available in the slides. The sentences are also there. So you can write down the sentences and try to write down the meanings as well. I will give you the English meanings of those sentences maybe in the slides instead of doing it in class, because they are all simple sentences where the verbs are also very familiar. We've already seen the verbs a couple of times. So I'll just add it along with the slides for the next class so that it will be along with your course material. Okay. In lesson 11, the boy reads in the morning and afternoon. In Sanskrit translation, atra has been used in the sentence. Can you please explain this? I will look that up. So normally in the morning means pratah, in the afternoon means madhyane, but I don't think you have learned that word. So you can use pratah sayam in the evening. How I can get the textbook in the website. So what are the requirements for this course? There is a column within the course page. So go inside it. No, I think there is a separate link to the textbook PDF download right in the website itself on the right hand side panel. Please go to the course page and search on the right hand side panel. You will find the link to download the textbook. Asmat Shabda and Yushmat Shabda are only pronouns. They are pronouns. Because in English also we say I, we, and you are all pronouns, right? So that is why they are also called pronouns. Can you explain how Dvivachanam, Bahuvachanam are formed for Uttama Purusha and Madhyama Purusha, Prathama Purusha, Pullingam, Strilingam, and Napunsakalingam? How the Dvivachanam and forms are formed. No, the derivation of the forms we are not going to learn now. We just have the forms and we have to memorize them. Asmat and Yushmat Shabdas are pronouns, but they are the only nouns. Now, by noun, I meant the Namapada. The Namapada in a sentence, if it is Asmat or Yushmat, it will be only in the Uttama Purusha. If it is Yushmat, it will only be in Madhyama Purusha. Why is it called Makaranta Kim Shabda? Because it ends in Makara. So an Anta means ending. So Makara Anta means ending in a Makara. Why do we use Gachanti sometimes and Gachati sometimes? Gachati is the ekavachana form. Gachanti is for bahuvachana. We cannot use them interchangeably. Can we interchange namapadam and avyayam? For the order of the sentence, yes. In Sanskritam, you can, to a certain extent, have the flexibility of interchanging the position of the words. For example, Ramaha atra pathati is a sentence. Rama is reading there. You can also say atra Ramaha pathati. Rama, that also means the same thing. Rama is reading there. So it will not change the meaning significantly. The words for below and today are similar. Okay. The word below is adhaha. That is the tavarga, last letter, the fourth letter, dha. The dha. That dha is used along with the visarga. That is below or adhaha. Whereas for today, we use the third dakara, the, along with the yakara. So it is adya. Dakara yakara becomes dya. Along with the first akara, it becomes adya. So they are two different words. Today is adya. Below is adhaha. What is the meaning of tada? It means at that time. We do not have to say sada and sarvada together. They are two different words which have the same meaning. Sada also means always. Sarvada also means always. When does one use anuswara at the end? Only when a vyanjanam follows. We use anuswara at the end of a word. Does kimartham mean what do you mean? No, it does not. Kimartham means for what purpose or why. That's all. Is there any easy way to remember atha, tatha? You just have to memorize the words. You can read it 2-3 times and it will it will very easily become, you can memorize it very easily. So now that you have learned a lot of words, I would recommend that you please practice the sentences which are given in the exercises. Then you will get familiar with the different avyaya padas. Okay. Hema Hari Bhagini, there's a mistake in page 35 in the third sentence. I will check that and I will let you know about that in the next class. Okay, those were the questions. We'll stop here. We've already exceeded the time. Shanti mantra. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Dhanyavadaha. Punarmilamah. Shubharatrihi.